remember me. I remember you too. You stole my heart, so I'm gonna steal you for the first time in weeks. I feel good for the first time in weeks.
Welcome to Show House, your favorite property show that talks to you as the buyer and the seller, guides you on where to buy, when to sell, and how you can make the best choices when diving into the property market. On today's show, we visit the quaint little town of Parys in the Free State and see why people flock to this Vaal riverside town on the weekends and look at what the property market there is doing. We dig into that bag of emails that you've sent through and answer the questions that keep you awake at night and take a look at a little bit of inspiration in our property of the week. Welcome back to our resident experts, Mr. Aidan Bennett from Aidan Bennett's Designs, who will give you the creative tricks and tips. Mr. Mark Banks, who will lighten up your day with his opinions on what to do and whatever else is going on in his head. And we welcome back Ms. Yashina Maharaj from SA Home Loans, bringing her seasoned expertise on where, when, how, and what to do when you're purchasing a property. Mark, when you were getting the brief for the show, I'm sure you thought international travel, you heard local travel, but when you saw Parys, you were in like Flynn, yeah?
Yes, that's why
Pictures of the Eiffel Tower and all that.
It's actually not Free State, it's the Orange Free State, and this could be Parys' traditional day wear.
Aren't you an honorary resident of Parys? You've got the key to the town.
Yeah, which I won in a natural visitor's quest, a tourism quest. One day, just passing through. It's got everything. It's got a mix of everything: young, old, antiquities, nurseries, gardening shop, and it's on the water. It's fantastic.
On the Vaal River, and it's a popular destination. Most weekends for most Johannesburgers. They're an hour out, so yeah.
Jump on with the water sports or...
What's it, about 120, 130?
120 Ks from Johannesburg, definitely. Yeah.
Well, we headed off to the Free State to see for ourselves what's going on in Parys. Have a look at this.
I come from Pretoria and Joburg area, so I've always been a city girl, but my heart's small town. I really enjoy the artiness of Parys. Wherever you go down the streets and whenever you speak to people, it's always more about the passion than what it is actually, you know, getting involved in the big business situations and things like that. So I think mainly that's what I really enjoy about Parys. It's the closeness of the people and the way you go about it.
It's a small town with very nice people. It's got the old world charm in it, which makes it a special feel around the town. We get lots of tourists during weekends. The community is very involved in the town as well.
Why do people flock to Parys? I think because everything is here but hasn't been found yet. If you know what I'm saying. The other areas that people, Harties and Cullinan, they've been overseen. So because it's such an easy road to get here, it's very simple. You get on the N1, come on the R59, and there's no delay, there's no trucks that affect you. It's easy. So you can get on your bike, you can get on your Harley, you can get on your Volkswagen or whatever, and just get down here.
I think firstly because it's so close to Joburg, and it's still a nice country little town, you know, very Platteland's little dorpie. People can come for a day outing or they can come for a weekend. We've got lovely guest houses and lovely little shops and galleries, and I think it's a lovely arty little place.
Parys at the moment is the fastest growing town in South Africa, which obviously to any investor is a good thing. Property is cheap, I would say, but I don't think it's going to stay that way. The town is developing really nicely, and they're looking after the town, and everyone's sort of pulling together at the moment. And I think that's going to make the difference, where if you can create that vibe and create the feel for that, then for people coming from Joburg, it's a very nice getaway. It's something that's not too far. And I think that just makes the whole experience worthwhile. You have something coming this side, it's growing, which is always good for any investors. So.
The development took a little bit of time. Obviously, you've got to shape it, and everything takes time when you're going in the Gulf environment. You know, people are scared to move from Joburg to Parys, but then you start realizing it's an hour away, beautiful highway. So a lot of infrastructure already here, so you could get here. The development has taken time, but is booming now. As we say, it's popping. A lot of houses coming up, a lot more sales. Yesterday, I know for a fact, a gentleman bought two stands off, just like that. Walked in, loved the place, bought 2 stands. So the estate is developing. Although the housing boom, they say it's slowed down, we're not feeling it. It's just developing.
I won't say property is expensive. It has picked up for the last couple of years as people from the cities discover Parys, but it's not nearby as expensive as in the cities. You still can buy a very, very nice house near the river, around about $1 million, and places to be renovated, you can still get much cheaper than that.
The developers want to upgrade the whole town. That's maintenance, that's buildings, that's everything else. So the aesthetic value and the look of Parys will enhance. Restaurants are always a good thing. You can see them opening all over the place at the moment. There's big development in terms of small businesses. A lot of people is coming and investing in small business and whatever arts and crafts they have. The markets are picking up really nicely, so it's more an outdoor feel. So all of that adds to moving forward and having more events that happens over weekends and during the week to support, the growth and the development of Parys itself.
I think it's a good investment still to buy property here because it's quite affordable and it's very nice, old, strong houses, structured. So a lot of people buy little weekend and holiday homes and they come and they renovate it. So they spend a little bit of money and it's still a good investment.
The magic of Parys, I think, would be the passion and the love that people have for what they do. Because a lot of these people, yes, we're business people, but we crafts people. We work with our hands and the love we have for the things that we do. And I think that is what it is all about.
Yushina, having seen that, talk to me about the various segments that you can see in the Parys market. There's a very strong leisure component, but there are people and big employers in the area. Tell me how you see that from a lending perspective.
Kura, firstly, it's home to 2 beautiful estates. There's the Val de Gras Golf Estate, which is a stunning development that has properties on the Vaal River, very homely sort of layout, which people obviously flock to. You've got the river, you've got the water sport, you've got a place full of culture, lots of art, and you have the party people that come through over the weekend, which is obviously the Johannesburgers, that adds the element of fun as well. And in a nutshell, it's a beautiful little town that's home to family-orientated or your normal young families that would want to settle there.
Aidan, how do you make it work where a Clarence or a Parys has its own character, but then people come in and they want a design brief, we want it to look Tuscan. How do you handle that sort of imposition of a theme that you think is appropriate to something that already has its own character?
Well, I think it's wrong to go, and bring a certain edge or a style that's already got its own heritage. Perhaps a sit down with that client and a bit of design education, to get them in the swing of things. Otherwise that your house is going to stand out, like a sore thumb, in the space. And
crimp its value down the track. Now, I got the strong sense of a lot of the antiques there, and I thought instantly Mark would fit in quite well here.
Yes, and of course, once again, at a river, banks, wherever you go, where there's a river, there's bankses. So I'm always in there, the Banks Society. There's tens of thousands of activities to do on the river with water skiing and...
There's also quad bikes and trails that are picked up as well when I had a look at it.
After the break, we're going to take a look at apartment living and help one of our viewers make the right choice when buying and renovating a property for rental purposes. Don't go away. We're going to be right back after this.
Looking for a new home in Malmesbury, Durban North, Linden, Parys, Ballito? We are the home loan specialists in every area.
Welcome back to Show House. Every week we receive tons of emails and we look at a particular home. Today we're going to look at the typical buy-to-rent option in Fourways, Northern Johannesburg. Johan wrote to us and he said this, he says, "Hi Show House, I myself am a young man who believes that purchasing property can be one of the best investments to make if you think about what you want to buy and what the longevity of your purchase will bring. I've just purchased a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment, or flat if you will, in the Fourways area as an investment apartment. I'd like to rent the flat out and would like your advice on what I can do to bring in a higher rental. The flat itself is in great condition, but I'd want to know whether I should increase my bond and renovate it to look more timeless or make it easier to maintain from a tenant point of view. Is it worth the increase in my bond to get that extra little bit of help? Please help. Yashina, over to you. Tell me the mechanics of raising additional finance on a mortgage bond. We're used to pre-NCA where you had an access bond that you could top in and out, but the world is different after 2008. Tell me how it works when accessing additional funds on a home loan.
Basically, Kura, there's two options. Option one would be is when you initially do your home loan, a wise decision would be to register a higher facility. This payment or the payment for a higher facility would only be on the amount that you've registered, but your repayments would be on the loan amount. And that would give you
So you're giving yourself
access.
headroom. So let's say it's $1 million, but you only draw down 800,000, so that leaves you 200,000 headroom.
access facility already built
But
in.
you only make repayments on what's
the
been drawn down.
800,000
Okay.
of your example. That would be option one. Option two would be raising a second bond once you've already have a home loan, and now you would have to go and apply for a further loan on top of that. That could be expensive, and it would be a new process of registering a second facility.
What are those expenses? Additional bond costs?
You've got registration
attorneys?
costs that you would incur again, an initiation fee again, and a period of time that it would take to have that done is another 4 to 6 weeks. So if you need quick access to cash, a wise decision would be to register a higher facility or a larger facility on the onset of taking your home loan.
So with most things in life, it's starting with your end view in mind. Aidan, in terms of the look and feel, what do tenants look for when they're looking for a property? We've got the lovely money out of the lovely Yashina. She's given us 200,000. What are we going to touch up the property with?
You know, as you mentioned in a previous show, I think we look at the kitchens and the bathrooms. With a particular reference to this property that we've been shown, I don't think it's really worth investing in the space to rent it out. The only thing I think that needs a little bit of help is the actual kitchen tops. They're a little bit dirty and grubby, and if I'm going to be renting out a space, I want something that's neat and clean. Other than that, the place is perfect for a rental tenant. I wouldn't touch it.
Tenants, easiest people in the world to deal with,
No, not at all. The most money I've ever made on property investment was a lock-up and goes, 1-bedroom flats in the days when you could pick them up for next to nothing. They were always great investments. Tenants, it was like an audition for Deliverance Part 4. And the ones that seem that you get a doctor, a young trainee doctor, or someone who's stayed and you think they're sane are absolute horror nightmares.
Always the quiet ones.
And the horror nightmares. People, I had someone who ate a door once. I couldn't believe that they ate. I don't know. It was just a nightmare. And then you get people who think, well, I wouldn't let these people sleep in a stable. Turn out to be the best tenants. Pay cash up front. The most likely are the unlikeliest, and vice versa. Tenants for me, an absolute no-no. Really, I would go through a casting agent to get tenants rather than an estate agent.
Wow. Yashina, talk to me about the mechanics of raising finance. So when you're raising a bond, people look at your current income, but if I'm now buying a property as an investment, can I make an argument that I'm getting additional revenue or I'm now getting more money in because I'm buying this property for a tenant? How does that affect my affordability when I come through the doors at SA Home Loans?
Just going back to what you said a few minutes ago, Kura, about NCA, it has had a big impact on how we see income. So income has to be income that you are currently already earning. So proposed income, which would be the case if you're buying a property and there's already going to be rental coming from there, would be viewed as proposed income. We cannot establish how you would use that income, or we've got no track record to see how you've spent it, most importantly.
Can I show you a nicely done lease agreement signed, notarized,
That-
blood and guts and everything? Is it going to help?
Unfortunately not. It's going to be proposed income. But if you've already got rental in place and you want to do a home loan, then we would most certainly consider that rental income for affordability.
So it helps.
It most certainly helps if it's already income that you have or rental in place.
So Yashina's given us the property advice on how to buy that extra income investment property. How do you guys feel about a property with 1 bathroom?
2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. So what you're asking?
Yeah.
Well, if I'm comparing it to another property that's got 2 bathrooms, I'm certainly going to choose the one with 2 bathrooms first, particularly if there's more than one, person, staying in the space.
These days, everyone wants their own bathroom, don't they?
Yeah,
It's
quite right.
It certainly adds value to the property to have 2 bathrooms as opposed to
It
1.
keeps peace between the sexes to have 2 bathrooms.
Yeah.
His and hers. Let's just break it up.
It's time to play Price That Property. If you at home would like to join in the game, feel free. Tweet us Home Channel SA and use the hashtag Price That Property. Well, the way this works, you understand it. You're going to get your boards out and you're going to scribble down a price.
Yes.
And we're going to see how close it comes to the actual valuation. While our property experts are jotting down their values, we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we will reveal all. See you on the other side of this break.
Looking for a new home in Jacobsbaai, Umhlanga, Maboneng, Middelburg, Vaal Triangle? We are the home loan specialists in every area.
Welcome back. It's time to see which of our panel members came closest to the actual selling price of this property. Leshina, let's start with you. 780,000.
Yeah, interesting.
I think I would obviously, as always, take a more conservative approach because
You're a banker.
We're a banker, that's right. We're not too keen to lend. But no, jokes aside, 780, it's a 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom. And having looked at the pictures, a fairly 68 square meter townhouse, I would say in that region should be about more or less right.
780, she's convinced, fairly convinced he's going to
Was there a garage? I forgot to ask. Because in my price, I put a garage in Parkland.
carport. Northern suburbs, unlikely to have a...
Right, 4 ways area, 2 bedrooms, multiplied by 2 times 13 over 6, multiplied by the interest rate, 975.
On go.
Encore. That's
You'd
the
be
estate agent.
negotiable,
Oh no,
you'd be
or nearest
on-go.
cash offer.
Nearest cash.
Nearest
975.
cash. So you reckon I'm rolling around with 975 on the weekend just to pop into Mark's property and, you know.
Yeah, in 4 ways. In 4 ways. Don't forget area. We're not buying in Mkhubuskov. This is 4 ways.
Okay, 975.
975.
975 going once, 975 going to... You stick with that?
Negotiable. Or nearest cash offer.
Or nearest cash offer. Thank you very much. Aidan, talk to me.
Look, not knowing too much about the area, I'm judging it purely on what I would pay for the value of the space. I'm going to go for 850,000.
She is spot on the money. She knows her stuff.
Well, of course.
If you're considering spending that extra money to be able to boost the rental you're getting from your property, remember not to overcapitalize on things that can be kept really simple and tenant friendly. Many of us are like Johan, and we sometimes need a little advice on whether we're making wise choices when investing in our properties. So write to us and let us answer your questions and help you give you the right information for decisions for your investment. One of our viewers wrote to us with the following question. I'm renting a property and the landlord has just repainted the interior. I really don't like the choice of colors he's gone for, as it doesn't match my personal style. I've asked whether I would be able to paint the interior at my own cost. However, I was told I'd have to repaint it back upon termination of my lease. This means I'd have to pay double to paint. What are the options in a situation like this? Aidan, what colors don't work when you're painting?
Look, I mean, when it comes to a situation like this, I would always just suggest is, you know, trying to get a face-to-face meeting and you know, chat with the landlord. You know, if the landlord's gone and painted it like a violent red or a bright green, you know, I can understand, but, you know, any sort of sensible landlord is probably going to paint something that's quite friendly. So you've got to look at it and, you know, is the guy being a little bit subjective or personal about the paint color? You are renting, remember?
Now, a paint job is one of those things where I've found human beings overestimate their own capacity. They reckon you just pop over to Builder's Warehouse, you get a couple of cans of paint, and you come and we can knock this out in a weekend. What are the tips of getting a paint job done right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, besides being the, you know, a designer, I've also been the DIY guru, so I've also been at on the sort of the side of advising people to paint. But put it this way, you don't go and perform your own open heart surgery, right? So if you want a job professionally done, get a professional. You're probably going to end up, you know, spending less because you won't have to be fixing your own mistakes. You're not going to get paint on surfaces you don't need. A paint job, it's actually, I mean, there's reasons why painters are painters. They're good at what they do.
I had that once with a flat I was renting, and the owner said, I'm going to paint the interior of the flat, which he did, and he painted Battleship Grey, stolen paint from Simonstown Dockyard, the entire inside of the flat. Yeah. Battleship Grey. It was fantastic. fantastic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you've never seen anything like it in your life. People used to come to the flat just to marvel at what the landlord had done.
Spending that little bit of extra in the right areas on your property can sometimes make the world of difference. Let's look and see where we can draw inspiration from this week.
A main bathroom should be an extension of the homeowner's personality, their own private retreat from the world where they can relax and unwind in an environment that is perfectly suited to their needs. For this bathroom, the design team were tasked with creating a modern bathroom with strong classical roots. To achieve the desired modern classical look, the design team used large format tiles in a muted color palette to create a soothing and relaxing space.
We used more of your classical tiles, which is the glazed porcelain tile, which looks like travertine. And then we incorporated that with your more comfortable, modern, freestanding bath, open plan bathroom, nice accessories, modern accessories. We went with the 600 by 1200 on the floor and then the 600 by 600 on the wall. That's to create a seamless design. You will also see on the floor we cut the same tiles up in mosaic. The color palette was more of a classical palette, so it was mostly with your beige. We kept it light all around, wall and floor tiles, and then we brought in a bit of contrast with your mahogany color vanity and then also the dark colored built-in cupboards.
In a space as large as this one, it's important to have a clear focal point to anchor the room.
So when you first walk into the bathroom, the focal point is the freestanding bath, which is as a freestanding mixer also. So that's mostly where you're going to spend most of your time, is in the freestanding bath, and that's in the middle of the bathroom. All around that is all your accessories and vanities.
To attain a sense of cohesion in the room, the designers used stainless steel borders around the tiles, ensuring a seamless transition between the tiles and the various accessories.
The taps, mostly we went with the stainless steel look. So if you also look at the tile design, you will have the stainless steel trims all around, and that collaborates with the stainless steel accessories like the heated towel rail and the taps, even the freestanding mix at the bath. So that also, it gives you not that classical type of feel, but it gives you more of that modern style that they also wanted to incorporate.
An unusual feature of this bathroom is the built-in cupboards. Generally, the walk-in closet would be an entirely separate area, but here the team felt that as there was enough space, the two rooms should be combined into one, creating a classic multi-purpose room.
Because the bathroom is such a big bathroom, they incorporate the built-in cupboards, but the important feature of that, when you incorporate built-in cupboards, is to have adequate ventilation.
Lighting is a key element of any interior design, both to ensure perfect visibility and to highlight key features of the design.
Lighting-wise, they did the downlights, so it's more or less the spotlight type of thing, and then also the window on the side which brings a little natural light in, and also above the toilet and the bidet, they also have a window in there, so that brings also quite a lot of natural light in.
As this is such a big space, the design team was free to think big. They incorporated many large elements into the room: large tiles, a large bath, a huge shower, and a massive vanity to give the room a feeling of scale and scope.
Renovations can be a costly exercise. Remember that what you're doing is aimed at increasing the value of the property, and don't overcapitalize. Don't forget, if you'd like us to feature your property on the show, if you've got any questions regarding the buying or selling or financing of your home, email us your pictures of your home and your questions to showhouse@thehomechannel.co.za. Join us again next time. Thank you for watching. From the team here, goodbye.